we're in the first day of what feels like camp. I moved into the hotel or the dorms, and more of a camp routine. School's over with, so we don't have classes to work around, so it's all football for the next 2 weeks. And had a good practice today, good walkthrough this morning, and we see improvement every practice, which is what needs to happen. We still got a long ways to go. Defense is probably further ahead than the offense right now, to be expected, and I think we're going to be pretty good on defense. I think when all is said and done, we'll have a pretty stout defense, but right now I think we're in pretty good shape.
Secondary was pretty out there. They were doing really well out there. At least the secondary.
Oh yeah, secondary. I've been bragging on them since the first practice, and they're starting to make plays. And Julian Blackman, Corian Ballard, Burgess, all those guys back there, they're very talented. They just need experience, which is what we're giving them right now.
Are you seeing separation there?
Yeah, there's separation. Nothing's defined yet for certain, but we're starting to see some separation across the board, the whole football team, but yes, in the secondary as well.
The offensive line, from what we saw, at least in the latter periods, looked like you had guys in a lot of different positions out there today, moving guys around a little bit.
Still are, yeah. We're, we need. It's kind of, unfortunately, we haven't been able to play with the same five due to guys not being available for practice, and so it's been a little bit of a makeshift situation. It's got to get settled pretty soon, but we still have time. We're still 3.5 weeks out from playing, but yeah, we're trying to find the best five out there, and of those five, the best combination of where those guys fit.
You saw Darren Paulo out at right tackle right there. He's got a tackle's frame. What's the biggest transition for him? Hasn't played a lot. He's played guard when he has played.
Right. He's got great length. He's 6'5" and got a big wingspan, so he's actually a little bit longer than Lecca is, and so you may see Darren out there and leave Lecca inside. That's still something that we're mulling with. We know that Lecca's a very good guard, and there's a case for him to just stay there and continue being one of the dominant guards in the league, and put Darren outside. And, we'll see how they look on film and how things develop, but that is a possibility, is to have Darren play that right tackle spot.
How about the centers?
Centers improving. We miss Lowe, no doubt about that. But the guys that are out there are improving and getting invaluable experience. I mean, that's, they may be called upon sometime. Last year we went down to a fourth or fifth center, so you never know, and you can never have too many guys that can play that position, because you better be ready. I mean, if you can't get the ball to the quarterback, nothing else matters.
Darren Carrington waiver became official today. Can you comment on that? I didn't see him out there though today.
Yeah, he was taking care of some last-minute business. Should be out there either tomorrow at the latest on Wednesday. But yeah, we're excited about Darren, and obviously he's a guy that can help us this year, and he'll figure into our plans prominently.
Any update on the two players you're still waiting on?
It's looking more positive than it was last week, but it's still far, far from a done deal.
Do you have a preferred number of offensive linemen you want to rotate this season?
If we can get 10, that would be ideal. Very rarely do we have 10 guys that we feel are all ready to play in a football game. I would say 8 would be bare minimum, but 10 would be ideal. Very few years you have 10 guys that you feel are game ready.
With Carrington, are you planning to keep him out any of these games, maybe punishment from Oregon, or is it a done deal?
No, his discipline with us is what matters to me, and what he's done here, and how he functions here. And that was the plan going in. That was laid out up front. I made sure that he knew that if he comes here, it's a fresh start in all ways. But obviously there's higher expectations because of what's transpired in the past. But no carryover, I guess you could say.
From the time he's practiced thus far, what's kind of impressed you about him? Speed, hands, combination?
All the above. He's got the frame. He's got a great ability to go up and get the contested ball. He's got exceptional hands. Runs very clean routes. He's got great body control. He's a guy that fits very, very well in the Troy's plans.
Did we have a Raylan Singleton sighting out there today?
Yeah, Ray's out practicing, which is a good thing. One of our team leaders. Team needs him out here, and he makes us better.
How about Tyquez Hampton? Came in the spring for you, and now he's played quite a bit out here. He seems to make some plays when we've been around.
Coming along. He's still got the deer in the headlight look every once in a while, but that's becoming fewer and further between. He's making more plays. He's understanding his role and his place in the offense better. And I think he's got a bunch of upside. Whether he's ready to play for us this fall or not remains to be seen.
Do you have a timetable on when you're thinking of naming a starting quarterback, or where that separation
No real
is?
timetable, but we'd like to hopefully get down to 2 guys taking reps by sometime next week. I think that'd be ideal, and then name the starter shortly thereafter.
Are the reps still being distributed pretty evenly?
Nope. Cooper's not getting nearly as many as the other two. The other two are getting the majority, and Cooper's getting what's left over.
What would it take for somebody like Tyler Huntley to beat out Troy Williams, who's obviously had experience in that role?
Play better during practice and make better decisions than Troy, and make more plays and run the ball better. I mean, just whoever performs better. The experience gives Troy a leg up on the competition, but it doesn't mean anything other than he's got that advantage when it comes to executing the offense. But the bottom line is who executes and who runs the offense better.
You had a fair number of drops last fall, which I think you know about. From what you've seen so far through a week of camp, do you get a sense that the guys are holding on to the ball? You're
A little
not
bit
getting as
better.
many drops?
A little bit better. There's still too many drops, but seems to be less than last year. But that's always something that those are drive killers. You drop a ball, that's a drive killer. Instead of 1st and 10 and a new set of downs, it's 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10, and so that's big, and that's something that it's almost like a false start. I mean, you have a chance to make a play, it sets you back. So,
What newcomers have been showing up thus far in camp?
well, Darren Carrington that we talked about, Jalen Johnson, our corner, John Penasini, our defensive tackle, Jordan Agasiva, the offensive lineman, the young receivers, Brian Thompson, Bronson Boyd, Jalen Dixon, those guys. We've got about 10 or 12 guys that have been very positive, given very positive results so far.
Of those guys, are there any that you foresee seeing quite a bit of playing time early on?
Good, we'll see. Still got a lot of time left before the game. Still got 3.5 weeks, and so we'll see how things develop during that time frame. And who's ready to play and help us will be playing, and who's not will be redshirting.
Any pecking order in the kicking game yet, Crash?
The top two guys that have started to distance themselves are Chaden and Matt Gay. Those two guys are the top two right now, and they're very close. And we'll continue we're charting every kick and putting them in as many situations as we can out here. And we'll see what happens when we get closer to the game.
With Matt being a senior, would you maybe err on maybe the younger so you have a little more?
No, whoever's the better kicker. It's not kicking's. It's an exact science. You either make it or you don't.